During the generation phases of section views that contain reinforcement at the strong request of our users, we have introduced some options that significantly improve the calculation results. Try to imagine having a wall with a whole series of starter bars at the top. With Plan 2025 and earlier versions, as far as reinforcement was concerned, I could obtain either a filled representation or a wireframe representation, meaning a line drawing of what my reinforcement bar was. Now, in the definition of section views in the Show Edges section, in addition to managing the representation of the component completely separately, I can also manage the representation of the reinforcement in order to obtain both the colored fill representation and the outline lines of my reinforcement bar. After that, each time I can decide whether the reinforcement bars that are embedded inside, for example, my wall, should be represented with hidden edges. So, for instance, by defining a dashed line, or if they should be completely removed to achieve a clean representation like the one you see here on the right. But let's try to see everything inside Allplan. Here I am inside Allplan, where I have my model, my wall with my starter bars at the top. As we can appreciate, thanks to the transparency feature, these types of bars are embedded directly inside the concrete of my wall. So let's bring up an initial view on the screen and then make a series of copies of this view one after another in order to carefully check and review the different options and settings that I can use. So now I'm going to create 2 copies of my initial view, and let's try to make some changes to the second view. Let's make a nice change. Let's go into the Format Properties section and disable the wireframe display mode for the reinforcement, and then manage all the parameters related to my view. So this is the first type of result I get. I'm not satisfied because I think it's possible to enhance and further improve the representation of my rebars at the top by adding, in addition to the fill, a line that directly outlines my reinforcement bar. So all I need to do is go into the format properties of my reinforcements and then decide that I also want to assign them a pen or a color depending on my preferences. We apply the changes, and as you can see, everything is now much more enjoyable and much clearer overall in terms of readability. We perform the exact same operation on the last example as well, where we simply make a small modification, meaning that we want to represent only the reinforcement bars located at the very top, without directly showing the bars that go into the concrete of my wall. I click close, and here we have this kind of situation.